You were living with a known prostitute.
What's wrong with that? She was nice and she liked me. When the police took me back to my relatives, they didn't care about me, so I was put in all those girls' homes. And now I'm in prison. Is that what you mean, Mrs. Davidson? I'm in prison because no one wanted me.
Perhaps you'd like a drink?
Oh, no, thanks. You can sleep in tomorrow, but I've got an early start. Hey, take it easy. Just because I've got you alone, I'm not going to do a Valentino.
I know that. I just don't know when you're being serious or not.
You'll know when I'm being serious.
What's he writing down?
Oh, that's Detective Sergeant Ross. He's just doing his job.
Detective? What are you trying to do to me? You've all had a hand in this, haven't you? The attempted bribery of an officer. Sounds cheap and dirty, doesn't it? Insulting. But I seem to remember you were eager enough at the time. What happened, pal? Get cold feet.
Come on, Mrs. Peterson. You've been supplying us with enough evidence yourself, don't you think? I mean, there's your attempt to rig a crooked witness and your secret accounts and now bribery of a prison officer. You're going to be in here for a long time.
Oh, no. You used me. You used my information. You can't keep me in here. You pig, you used me!
Come on, Peterson, come on.
Nobody uses me!
Well, just to show I'm not resentful, I won't add assault of a police officer to the charges.
Peterson, you will be placed in solitary confinement.
I'll go with you.
I'll kill you.
Join the queue, lady. There's a waiting list.
You can't keep me in here forever. I'll kill you, all of you. You're all liars and cheaters, filthy. No!
Good heavens. I would never have believed Peterson could be so violent.
Yes, it was a bit out of character, wasn't it? She's usually such a cool operator most of the time.
Exactly.
Still, you must have realised there was more to that lady, otherwise she wouldn't have been in here at all.
That's not always the case, Inspector. That was an exceptional performance, even for here.
Yeah, perhaps. Kate Peterson would be an exception anywhere. She's refined, intelligent, and an utterly ruthless bitch.
You seem to have formed a very strong opinion of her with very little experience.
Well, over the last couple of months, she's been passing on information to us that would curl your eyelashes. Details of the drug business, contacts with the mob, location of evidence. Anything she could milk from her friends in here, she passed on to us.
You mean she was working for you?
Well, that lady never worked for anyone but herself in her life. It was just a trading arrangement. How'd you go?
She's locked away.
Peterson wanted us to arrange a bogus witness for her appeal and her murder conviction. She thought the sergeant here was a crooked motel owner who would perjure himself for the right price.
Then you were just stringing her along.
Of course we were, but she gave us some very useful information.
Why wasn't I informed?
And what would you have done?
I would have curtailed your activities for the security of my prison.
Exactly, so you can see why I couldn't afford to take that chance.
My first responsibility is to the prison security, Inspector.
Now, come on, Mrs. Davidson. Your first responsibility is to the people outside. Now, I'd like to see Mari Winter next. Now, thank you.
However treacherous Kate Peterson may be, she certainly found her match in you.
Hey, give us some more sheets, will you, Edwards? I'm ahead of you. Well, come on, move it.
Get him yourself. You're the one who wanted to use the press.
Yeah, and you know what working the press means.
Oh, shove it. The press is just another job to me.
Is that right? Well, maybe you need a bit of a reminder.
Feeling lucky, are you?
You don't have many mates left, remember, so you just better do as you're told.
Make me. I could do with a bit of exercise, although by the look of you, I wouldn't say you could give me much.
Why bark when you got a dog? Righto, girls, teach us some manners. Well, what are you waiting for? Just remember who's top dog around here.
Takes more than one vote to make it unanimous.
Shut your trap, Bryant, or you'll be next on me list.
Hey, it's not so bad being on a list, Jude. More like a holiday than a threat.
I thought I told you not to thump her.
Maybe we don't want her.
What? Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Do you want a thick ear as well?
I thought it was Sandy you wanted us to thump. No, she doesn't want to get her hands dirty.
You're losing your touch, Mari.
What's the matter with you?
Top dogs get results.
So?
So where's the dope you promised us? You're looking at it, stupid.
It's just about enough from you.
Oh, you're never gonna make top dog, Mari.
You want to bet? You weak-kneed pack of bitches.
I think she's angry with you, Margot. What do you think, Sandy?
Yeah, I think she's a bit upset, Jude.
I ain't forgetting either of you.
We're not doing nothing for nothing. Why should we?
But what's the matter with you? You ain't gonna get nowhere if you keep backing off all the time. You're bloody useless. Why don't you wake up to yourselves while you still got a chance?
What's going on here?
Oh, nothing much, Mrs. Morris.
Yes, I can see that. Winter, you're wanted in the governor's office. The rest of you, get back to work. Edwards, take over the press.
Funny you should say that, Mrs. Morris. I was just going to. Hey, Bev, will you bring us some clean washing, please?
Good morning.
Hello.
This is for you. A memento of last night.
Oh, thank you. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's nothing. Just a souvenir. But don't forget, it's your turn to pick a movie.
Oh, I think we should call that deal off.
Why? I thought you were enjoying it.
I was. That's why I think we should call the deal off.
Sounds Irish to me. Why call it off when you're having fun?
Because in spite of the thermos and the theatre cat, I think I would prefer to see another old movie.
Great. That's something to look forward to when I get back.
Where are you going?
I've got to sort out some personal business in the States, so I'll be gone for a couple of days.
But you are coming back.
You bet. With the Garbo Festival coming up? You having afternoon coffee?
Sure.
You're not obliged to say anything unless you choose to.
Yeah. This is a load of bull.
Look, we know you're involved with the McNally drug business.
Prove it.
And that you conspired to import drugs into the Wentworth Detention Centre.
You got a real good imagination, Mr.
It's
Grace.
not my imagination, Winter. We've cleaned up the McNally drug racket. We're just here to clean up the minor rubbish.
Is that right? Well, I suggest you look elsewhere, because you ain't got nothing on me.
Recognise this?
No.
You ought to. Forensic confirms your handwriting and fingerprints.
Look, why don't you do yourself a favour? Make our job a lot easier, eh?
Where'd you get that?
Kate Peterson gave it to me.
Seems like you can't trust anyone these days, eh?
Yeah, well, there ain't no danger I'm going to make that mistake twice.
You still haven't given us an answer.
I would advise you to cooperate, Winter.
Yeah, you would.
If you insist on being stubborn, you must face the consequences.
I always do.
Well, why don't you be sensible and save yourself a couple of months?
Oh, go to hell.
So, what are you going to do about Murray?
Nothing much. Just make sure she doesn't step too far over the line.
You think that's enough?
She can't get her headers back on side. She's had it.
Well, honey, with B in isolation and Doreen in maternity and Hazel in the pound, I think you're going to need some help.
Maybe. Forget it, Jude.
Come on,
No
Mum.
way. You blow your chances of getting out of this dump and I'll thump you myself.
You don't think I have any chance of getting out of here, do you? Oh, God. Look what's just arrived.
Well, what the matter is with her?
She's got something on her wick, that's for sure.
We'll know what it is soon enough. What's up with you?
You wanted to know why the dope I promised you didn't come off?
Did you find out?
Yeah. Our good friend Peterson's been trading information with the cops.
What? What did you mean
Keep it down, will you? She's been trading information in return for favours all along. And she gave my letter for the mob to a bloody cop.
Shit, Murray, what you gonna do?
What do you reckon? I'm gonna do that bitch.
We'll be in on that, right?
No, you won't.
What do you mean?
I mean, all you'll have to do is sit and watch what happens. And I'll show you what top dogs are all about. Now, you just keep quiet about all this. And leave Peterson and me.
Now, just try and stay out of trouble,
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
if you can.
Hi.
Hazel, how are you?
A lot bloody better since I got out of the pound.
Wish I'd been there when you gave Mari that belt in the ribs.
Yeah, so do I. This is what she was after. It's from B.
Anyone else seen this? Good, better keep it that way. I had my suspicions, but I had no idea she'd go that far. Trading info with the cops for months. Probably the screws as well.
Well, what are you going to do?
same as she tried on me.
I know I'm not going to make a botch of it.
When?
Soon.
Pretty soon. And I'm getting out of here for good.
Hello, love. I heard you were back in circulation. What do you mean you're getting out? How?
It's my secret. And I'm going to keep it that way. Getting ready to carve up the opposition, I see.
What's it to you?
Just wondering who you're planning to surprise this time.
Well, it ain't you.
Oh, gosh, that's a load off my mind.
I hate to disappoint you, but there's someone else more important.
Anyone I know?
Oh, yeah, you know.
You wouldn't be referring to the good doctor.
You work it out for yourself.
Leave her alone.
Listen, what I do and who I do it to is my business. That bitch is the lowest thing you can breed, and I'm going to take it out in my way, so you just butt out.
Peterson's mine, and I don't want any has-beens getting in the way. It's got nothing to do with you.
Like hell it ain't. Just who do you think you're talking to? You keep.
I've been told. Leave her alone.
Who gave you the press?
I did.
And what if I disagree?
And you can try doing something about it. Hazel, watch the door.
Oh, why worry? There's more important things to be dealt with first.
And I told you she's my property. Hands off.
Listen, she lagged on me to the cops, and I look like I'm going to get a stretch out of it.
Big deal. She's been crossing me ever since we got here. And I reckon it's cost me a little bit more than just 2 extra months in this dump.
Screws. You women started work yet? We're working, Mrs. Morris. We obviously haven't done very much.
Oh, fair go, Mrs. Morris. We're overworked and underpaid as it is.
You don't have to work in here, Bryant. I can easily find someone else to take your place.
Would you have time, Mrs. Morris? I mean, aren't you a bit overworked having to do Miss Conway's work as well?
What does that mean?
Nothing. It's just I thought Mr. Marnie was sort of keeping her a bit busy.
A bit ridiculous.
Well, it must be hard for her, though, trying to keep an eye on all of us with all those stars flashing.
Say nothing of the violins.
If you women exercised your muscles as much as your imaginations, you'd have had all this work finished by lunchtime.
What's this, the Wentworth Social Club?
And we were just discussing their workload.
Short discussion. Kent, you've got a visitor. Thank you, ladies. Get back to work.
Ah, Mrs. Morris, can I go to the dunny?
Very well, but make it quick.
Gee, it's good to see you, love. Trouble is, I can never think of anything to say when you get here.
Yeah. How's everything going?
Pretty rotten. I've just done a stint in the pound.
What for?
It was a bit of a row in the laundry and I copped it for thumping one of the women.
God, Hazel, how can you be so stupid?
Well, it wasn't my fault.
I don't care who was to blame. Should have stayed out of it.
You don't know what it's like in here, George. Sometimes you just can't stay clear of trouble.
All I'm saying is I thought you was looking forward to getting out of this place, not mucking up your chances.
Well, I do want to get out.
Well, stop brawling all the time. They'll never release you.
Please, George. Don't be mad at me, love. I'm sorry. How are Johnny and Barbie?
Oh, they're fine. We, got a new housekeeper. Help look after things. The kids get on well with her.
Oh, good. How often does she come in?
Well, she lives in. She's a widow.
Oh, yeah? Well, when are you bringing the kids in again to see me?
Pretty soon.
Look, what's wrong, love? There's something on your mind. What is it?
What do you mean?
I can always tell when you're thinking about something, especially if something's wrong.
Time's up.
Oh, it can't be. What's wrong, George?
Nothing. It's just this... The more trouble you're in and everything...
But I just told you it wasn't my fault.
The visit's over.
Okay. You come and see me again soon, won't you, love?
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
I never thought I'd enjoy such an old movie, but it was superb.
Oh, careful, you'll end up a crusty old film buff.
Oh, I doubt it hasn't made Ian crusty.
No, and whilst we're on the subject, the women have started speculating a full-blown romance between you two.
Haven't they got anything better to do with their time?
Oh, time they've got plenty of. But they'll cook up a romance on the flimsiest of evidence. Just thought I'd better tell you, your reputation is up for grabs.
Thank you.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Goscombe.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Morris.
I'll leave you to see Mr. Goscombe now, thanks, Mick.
Right. Is anything wrong?
This business of Hazel getting herself into trouble, is it serious? I mean, will it affect her parole chances?
Well, the charge itself isn't very serious, but anything that goes on a record could make a difference.
Like that business a couple of months back with the right.
Yes, I'm afraid so. It all goes on the records.
I didn't see how she could be so stupid. It's all getting too much for me. Starting to wonder whether I'm wasting my life waiting for someone I don't even know.
Well, how do you mean?
An hour a week? It's not much of a marriage, Mrs. Morris. And the kids? What am I supposed to do with them? Especially little Barbie. She needs a mother. Thank God Joan's there. The kids love her. Yeah, I took in a housekeeper. She's terrific. She really is, Mrs. Morris. I mean, I know she's a bit young, but she's like a real mum to those kids. And they love her. In fact, I think...
Yes?
Yeah, well, it's my problem, isn't it? Shouldn't be bashing your ear. Well, thanks anyway.
What's up, love? You okay?
George went crook at me. And he never does that, never. There's something really wrong, Jude. I know there is.
Hey, come on now. Everything's gonna work out all right.
God, I hope you're right. That's all I can do, just hope, because there's not a damn thing I can do stuck in here. Can't be with George, and I can't be with my kids.
I know, it's tough, honey.
Do you know what the worst thing is? It's remembering how they used to cry when they were little, and I just won't be there when they need me now, will I? I'm just not going to be there.
Hey, come on now. Stop worrying. You're gonna be out of here soon.
Will I?
Of course you will.
I don't know anymore, Jude. And neither does George.
Hey, Hazel's pretty cut up, huh?
Yeah, she sure is. Poor kid. George is giving her a hard time.
We better see she stays out of strife for a while. I reckon I owe her one. Well, where have you been?
You'll find out soon enough. Well, what are you staring at?
That's funny. I was asking myself the same question.
Ah, why don't you put a sock in it,
Open
Brian?
your mouth and I will.
Did you have any trouble getting the time off from Mrs. Davidson?
Oh, no.
Mr. Marnie, this is rather sudden. It will cause some problems with the work schedules. However, we won't take it too seriously this time, but you must always consider your loyalty to Wentworth.
Of course, Mrs. Davidson.
See? Well, it looks like I better stop you before you start imitating me.
No, that's Lizzie's job. In fact, she even does a better Mrs. Davidson than I do.
Does she now?
Oh, it's only in fun. I mean, there's nothing mean or nasty about it, right?
Yes, I can imagine. All the same, it shouldn't happen. Things like that are bad for discipline. I hope you don't carry on in front of the prisoners like that.
Mrs. Powell, I promise you that anything said in the workshop could only improve morale.
Let's hope so. Janet, relieve Jan peri-maternity, please.
Yeah, well, you'll feel better when you've had something to eat, you know? Yeah. Gotta admit, the food in here's enough to make you forget anything, huh? Listen, Hayes, if you'd like to be alone, love, you just want me to buzz off, say so, okay?
Dumb, but nasty.
You make chips with Deb.
You better be careful where you leave things. You might hurt someone.
Bitch, I want you to stay out of it.
Yeah, I heard you.
She's mine.
With this kid's stuff,
Well, if you hadn't buggered it up.
She'd have got a scratch just like this. Damn good with that. I tell you, it would have put her on her guard. Maybe a shift to isolation for protection. Where the hell are your brains? You were doing her a favour.
Don't you bet on it.
You want to take Kate, right?
You're damn right I do.
That makes two of us.
Well, you'll just have to wait your turn, won't you?
Are you in a gambling mood?
That depends on the odds. And the stakes.
The odds are even. The stake is Kate.
Open season for the winner. With no interference.
Interested?
You just won me.
You shuffle, I'll cut.
Fair enough. How do you want to play this?
There's only one ace of spades in the pack, and there's only one Kate Peterson in Wentworth. Get the card, you get the doctor.
That'll do. We're going to have to wait till she gets out of the pound, though.
Just heard she's out. Must be at the second sitting for dinner.
So whoever draws the ace of spades does the job, right?
Right.
And the loser backs her up, if need be.
If you think you need backing up, I don't know why you're bothering to play in the first place.
I don't need any help, but I might need someone to distract the screws, and so might you.
Fair enough. Let's play.
What do you reckon those two are up to? Who cares? Yeah? Well, them playing cards together? That's unnatural.
Please, Mrs. Powell, it's not safe for me here. With all the others about, don't give me that. And if there is one person who can look after herself in here, it's you.
Nice to see the stakes back on Dick at last.
Don't count your winnings while the cards are being dealt.
Superstitious.
I hope not.
like your lucky day. When?
I'll let you know.
I reckon you earned that one. Just make sure you collect your winnings real soon.
Was that tight skirt that gave you away? You mustn't let that get you down, though, love.
Nah, it won't. Oh, well, not for long.
Oh, that's the spirit.
But I always get caught.
It's just practice. You get it right soon. You mustn't let that old bag pal get you down, though.
Oh, Mrs. Powell's not too bad. She's just doing her job. Like Mrs. Davidson.
I know that, but...
And besides, they're not the ones that put me here.
Hello? Is it a private party?
Of course not, Jude. I was just telling Susie that you mustn't let anything get her down.
Yeah. Well, whatever you two are talking about, the atmosphere's better in here than it is in the rec room.
How come?
I'm not sure. Sandy and Maury have just finished a game of cards, and I think it has something to do with Kate.
It doesn't make sense.
I know it doesn't.
Well, then what happened?
Well, I don't know, really. I think Sandy's planning on escaping, and whatever else is brewing, it has a really bad smell. I hope you two will stay right out of it.
Oh, don't worry, I will. Right out.
Oh, not another escape attempt.
Yeah, well, the disguise bit didn't work, so we got to think up something else. And we were thinking maybe your escape from hospital routine.
Oh, well, good luck to you, but isn't it a bit soon after your last attempt?
Well, that's just it. Well, they won't be expecting another try yet.
All we have to do is get this girl into hospital.
Not having a shower this morning.
That's my business.
Maybe she didn't fancy the company.
I'll be seeing you.
Oh, come on, Brian, keep moving.
Mrs. Powell!
What do you want?
Now do you believe me?
What's all this about?
Sandy Edwards gave that to me last night after she finished playing some sort of game with Maury Winter.
And you think it's a threat?
It's the death card.
Oh, that's a bit melodramatic, isn't it?
You say Sandy's threatening to kill you?
They all are.
What do you think, Meg?
Well, if the threat is real,
It is.
I think perhaps a shift to isolation.
Perhaps. But then if they are all out to get her, I wonder she wouldn't be in danger for B. Smith as well. You must be in the running for Wentworth's Most Unpopular Girl Award. You don't know who hates you most.
It's not a joke.
I couldn't agree more. Now go and get dressed. Report to the laundry after breakfast.
You can't mean that.
I don't joke about work allocation. Now move it.
After all she's done, I don't think we should take her fears too lightly.
I'm not. I would have thought you'd know that. There'll be a very close eye kept on our friend Peterson.
I hope that's enough.
Do you reckon you're ready for it now?
Oh, the sooner the better. Only we still haven't figured out how to do it.
Hey, what are you two up to this time?
We're just thinking of giving Susie a broken arm.
Wow, what's she done to deserve that?
Not a real one.
No, it's Jude's idea, because we've got to get her to the hospital for her next breakout.
Ah, but I'm not too sure how to fake it.
Well, when in doubt, ask your family doctor.
Of course, we've got our own quack right here. Hey, Kate.
I want to get to hospital. So we thought that maybe you could tell me how to fake a busted arm.
Really not sure.
Oh,
Around here, anyone with special skills is expected to share them.
that's right.
It would need to be red and a bit swollen. Very painful to touch or move. She'd need x-rays to be sure.
Thank you, Dr. Peterson. Send the bill.
Beauty. They've got to get you to hospital for x-rays.
We can dirty it up a bit. And if you're brave, I can make it red and swollen for you. Well, I think the air vent needs a bit of a clean up. Be a pity if you fell from there. It might break something.
Yes, well, I know the sort of trouble that Peterson has caused amongst the women, but we've got to remember whose side we're on.
When it comes to a fight amongst the women, whose side are we on?
That's not what I mean. When a prisoner is in danger, then it is our duty to protect her.
But the ace of spades is a bit far-fetched, isn't it?
Have you ever come across a prisoner who was a well-known police informant?
No.
Well, I have. And I know what the women are capable of doing to laggers.
Don't worry. I'll keep my eyes open.
Look, she was trying to clean the vent out and she just sort of fell.
I tried to catch her.
She shouldn't have been up there.
I was only gone a couple of minutes.
How bad is it? She's a bit stunned, but I think she might have broken her arm.
Oh, will she be all right?
Yes, Lizzie.
We better get her to Sister Franklin.
No, she's gone to Wentworth General with a maternity case.
We'll take her to the hospital then. Can she be moved, Peterson?
If you're careful with her arm, yes.
Let's get down to reception, organise some transport. Take it easy.
Come on, love. You'll be all right.
Good luck, love. Beauty.
I wouldn't bet on it, love. She's not going to fool that doctor for long, so she's going to have to make her escape pretty damn quick.
She will, don't you worry about her. Oh. You'll be all right. We'll have you in the hospital in no time.
Parson said there was an accident. How badly hurt is she?
She's all right. Peterson thinks she's got a broken arm.
Okay, get her to the hospital quickly. I want to word with you.
We need her.
Yes, I know she'll be there. Just get Susie at the hospital. Okay. I want the truth and quickly. How badly hurt is she?
He's still in the market for information.
Well, it better be good.
We'll soon have you fixed up.
Ambulance will be here in 10 minutes.
And how's our wounded little lady now?
It hurts, Mrs. Powell.
Well, of course it does. But you're being very brave. Now, would you please be careful in the future? I don't like to see you suffer like this.
Where's Kate?
Susie, catch.
Oh.
Gotcha. I'll take her down, get her cleaned up. Then she can join her friends in time for lunch.
I'm very disappointed, Susie.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Well, she sure had me fooled. Colleen's really got what it takes to see through their tricks, hasn't she?
Yes, she certainly has. An informer. Did you notice that Kate Peterson didn't arrive?
All right, get yourself cleaned up and report to lunch. And I hope this is an end to all this nonsense.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Powell.
Sorry is not good enough. Susie, I can understand you wanting to get out of here, but the way you're going about it, it's only going to ensure a longer stay.
Will I get another sentence out of this?
I haven't decided yet whether I will report it or not, but you make sure there are no more attempts. The system has been here a lot longer than you have. Just learn to get along with it.
I won't.
Yep. How'd she go?
Susie?
No, the Easter Bunny. Who do you reckon?
Did she get away with it?
I don't know. They ordered me to come back.
Oh, well, ladies. There's your answer.
You were told to stick with her, Peterson.
Poor little kid.
How could I?
I'm sorry. I messed it up.
Well, don't you be sorry about anything, love. You just get your tucker and then you can tell us all about it.
All right, all of you. Listen to this. There has just been a stupid and futile escape attempt. Quiet! I know many of you were involved in arranging for Driscoll's broken arm, so you can consider yourselves fortunate you won't all be facing charges.
Oh, fair go, Mrs. Powell. We all thought she had broken her arm.
Oh, don't, Edwards. All right, Peterson. Since it's obvious you played a key role in this, you're coming with me at the governor's office.
Oh, but she ain't had lunch yet.
Pity. Move it.
What happened?
Nothing much. It was all going okay. And I thought I even had Mrs. Powell when she stopped me in the corridor. And then she came into the hospital. She just started talking for a bit and then threw this paperweight thing at me.
Oh, no, don't tell me.
Yeah. I caught it.
With both hands.
She must have known.
Of course she knew. Was Kate with you? No, Mrs. Powell stopped her in the corridor. And she didn't come in after that. Hear that, ladies? Pal stops them in the corridor, and then when Pal goes into the hospital without Kate, she already knows that Susie's faking it. Now, what would you gather from that?
The rotten bugger. She lagged.
So what's new?
And I am telling you for the last time, there is nowhere to transfer you to. Prisons are a closed system. Your reputation goes along with you.
Look, I'm not worried about my reputation. I am worried about Sandy Edwards and Mari Winter. Just get them away from me.
It isn't up to me. There are a lot of factors to be considered in transferring anybody. Don't worry. We'll be keeping a close eye on you and your friends.
What good that's going to do. You can't be with me all the time. And what about all those favours I've done for you? I helped you get the deputy governorship of this place, didn't I?
You were useful.
Well, then where's my payoff? Why can't you use that position to assist me when I need it?
It isn't that simple, and don't you use that tone with me. Unless you do want to be left alone with your friends.
Martin? Birdsworth?
Beauty, it's from me daughter.
Adler? And Bryant?
Isn't there one for me, Mr. Faulkner?
Sorry, that's the lot.
Who's yours from, Judy?
Oh, it's for my daughter, Laurie.
Is anything wrong? Did I say something wrong to Judy?
No, love, it's all right. She's just a bit upset. Her case hasn't come up yet. Laurie doesn't know that she's back inside.
Well, how come the letter came here then?
Well, that bloke Wally sends them on to her. Haven't you got a letter?
Nah, no one ever writes to me.
Oh, here, you can have mine.
Oh. Okay. Let's run through the details once more. We get Kate away from the others, and then you create a diversion, and it had better be a good one.
They're the only kind I know. You're not talking to an amateur, you know.
I didn't think I was.
Well, just you remember it. I might be in on this, but that don't make us mates,
This
okay?
is no time for arguments. We can sort out our differences tomorrow when our good friend Kate is 6 feet under, okay? I think it's about time we sorted out our differences.
Yeah, I reckon it's about time.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, come on, you must know.
What do you want?
I just want to have a little chat with you, in private.
You've had plenty of opportunity for that.
I needed time to think about it. And there never was a moment that was quite private enough. Now, Mari and I figure that being a nice day, most of the women are going to be out in the garden for their exercise period. So we want to meet you in the shower block.
Both of you?
Mari's just coming along to make sure there's no funny business. You know. So you be there. And we'll be waiting.
What do you reckon?
No worries. She'll be in the garden.
Okay, no pushing. You'll all get out. Oh, good. I wouldn't hold me breath. Come on, girl.
You're cutting it a bit fine.
Oh, just fine enough, thanks.
I got a letter from Laurie today.
Is she all right?
Oh, yeah. She's real good. She's really looking forward to me going up to Queensland.
You haven't told her you're back in here.
Well, how could I? I mean, she was so excited about me being out.
Well, if your trial goes all right, you could still be out.
Yeah, if. Fat lot of chance about that, huh? I'm in for a crime I didn't even commit.
Oh, come on, Judy. There's always a chance.
Well, you're the only one that thinks so.
Well, how can I help you?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Morris. I shouldn't have asked to see you.
Of course you should have. That's what I'm here for, to help.
No one can help me. The only way that someone can help me is to find that girl that took that drunk's money. And do you think there's any hope of that?
Oh, Judy.
I don't know how I'm going to tell her. I don't know how I'm going to tell her that I'm back inside so soon.
Look, she'll believe you.
It's going to break her heart.
come on. Don't underestimate her. She's a wonderful girl. Now, the rest of the women have gone into the garden. Let's go out there and get some fresh air, eh?
Keep a close eye on Susie Driscoll. After the stunt she pulled this morning, nothing she did would surprise me.
Funny, isn't it? It's always the innocent-looking ones that need watching.
Yeah, well, she had me going.
Those bloody screws are watching you like a hawk.
They'll get sick of it. They always do.
You'd reckon they'd be glad to see you go.
How come?
Well, you don't belong in here, do you? And if I was them, I'd be opening the gate and letting you out myself.
Hazel for governor? I'll get out. Don't worry.
Good on you, love.
I wish I could.
You stay away from me or I'll yell for the officers.
That wouldn't be very nice, would it?
What are you up to?
I just thought we might have our little chat. You were supposed to meet me in the shower block.
What's going on here?
Oh, Kate just upset the rubbish bin. I was going to help her clean it up.
That's not true.
Okay. It's nothing to get upset about.
But I didn't.
I don't care who knocked them over. You can both pick it up. This bin shouldn't be here anyway. The garbage truck's due any minute now, so when you get that lot cleaned up, you can take the bins round to the dump.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere with her.
Don't be ridiculous, Peterson. You'll do as you're told. I'll be there to see that you do.
Oh, take a look at this miserable lot, will you? I reckon a smile would cost them 6 months. Hey, where are your manners, Hayes? I'm talking to you.
Look, Maury, Hazel's having trouble with her old man. Now, why don't you just leave her alone?
Oh, Hazel's having troubles. Geez, that's too bad.
Fair go, Mari. She's worried about her kids.
Oh, well, I reckon I ought to go and apologise for being so thick-skinned and insensitive.
Don't you worry, love. Screws will soon put a stop to it. And you're coming inside now with me.
This is intolerable.
Oh, stop whinging. You're better off carrying the bloody bin than being inside it.
Why don't you both save your breath? I'd like to see this garbage going out this week.
You must love this, getting women to do your dirty work.
Keep your comments to yourself, Peterson.
Here your old man's thrown you over for a new woman.
Leave me alone.
Can't say I blame him. At least the kids will have a decent home now.
That's not true.
Of course it is. You're just too thick to see it. It's been quite a while since they've been to visit you, ain't it?
Now look, you lie-rotten bitch.
They probably won't come again anyway now they've got a decent mother.
Cut it out, Maury.
They wouldn't even recognise you, let alone when you get out of here.
Now, just shut up.
Right.
I told you to shut up.
Did I? Look, that's enough, for God's sake. None of your kids can see you now.
You bitch!
You ready for our little chat, then?
Okay, that's enough. We'll sort this out later.
Love, she deserved more than she got, I can tell you.
What happened?
She hit me with a bloody hoe.
I wasn't talking to you.
I don't know. They're all moving around and suddenly Hazel attacked Winter with a hoe.
Yeah, well, she pushed her to it. That's a bloody lie.
Now that is enough. Now that's the end of the exercise period today. Everybody back inside. Come along.
Come on, back into the building.
Hey, listen, my head feels like a splitting open.
Oh, it looks all right to me. Take her to the cistern, if she's still on duty.
Oh, that's lovely, that is.
Come on, keep it moving.
That's not fair.
You only got yourselves to blame.
All right, just keep moving back inside. Come on, Winter. That means all of you.
Not quite all of us. You know, I wouldn't be at all surprised if one of us has gone missing by now.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around.